There is a god who once burned desire itself to ash with a single glance. A god who pressed down the 10-headed king of Lanka with nothing but the weight of his toe. A god who fought his own son, cut off a head of the creator of the universe, and went to war against death. He is known as the Destroyer, the Ascetic, the god who meditates on a frozen mountain for 1,000 years. But behind that stillness is a warrior whose battles reshape the cosmos. Long ago, 3 Asura brothers received a boon that seemed unbreakable. They built 3 flying cities, one of gold, one of silver, one of iron, that could only be destroyed when perfectly aligned once every 1,000 years. For ages, the Devas were helpless against them, their combined power invincible. In desperation, they approached Shiva himself. The god mounted a chariot built from the very fabric of existence. The earth became its base. The sun and moon served as wheels. Vishnu transformed into the arrow, and Brahma himself became the charioteer. When the moment came and the 3 cities aligned in a single instant, Shiva released that arrow. The universe itself became his weapon. The cities burned. The Asuras were annihilated. This was the destruction of Tripura. But Shiva's greatest battles had only begun. One demon born from his own rage, Jalandhara, pulled from the waters when Shiva's fury struck the ocean, rose to power, and demanded Parvati as his own. The war that followed brought Devas and Asuras into collision. Jalandhara seemed invincible, protected by the unshakable chastity of his wife, Vrinda. Only through deception, Vishnu disguising himself as Jalandhara to break her vow, could Shiva finally pierce him with his chakra. Even the destroyer must bend the rules when cosmic order hangs in balance. Another demon, Andaka, born blind from birth, harbored only arrogance and desire for the goddess. When he attacked Shiva, a terrible problem emerged. Every drop of Andaka's blood that touched the ground spawned a new demon. Shiva summoned the 7 mother goddesses, the Matrikas, who drank the blood before it could fall to earth. They became the guardians born from that terrible necessity. Andaka himself was finally pierced on Shiva's trident, suspended between life and death, eventually transformed through penance into a devoted follower. From devastation came lasting cosmic consequence. Gajasura, the elephant demon who had performed such fierce penance that he grew arrogant in his power, ran wild across the worlds. When the Devas cried out, Shiva appeared and danced. That dance became the demon's death. From the elephant's hide, Shiva fashioned his own cloak, a trophy, and a warning woven into his very form. But perhaps the most profound battle was one that never truly ended. The god of love and desire, Kama, was sent by the other gods to pierce Shiva's meditation. After Sati's death, the gods grew desperate. They needed Shiva to remarry and father a son strong enough to defeat Tripurasura. So Kama arrived in the forest and loosed an arrow of flowers at Shiva's heart. The god's eyes opened in fury. His third eye blazed. Kama was reduced to ash before his own wife, Rati's eyes. But Shiva's rage contained mercy. He restored Kama in formless spirit, calling him Ananga, the bodiless one. Love endured, transformed, but never truly destroyed. In the Himalayas, Arjuna sought divine weapons for the coming war. Shiva, testing the warrior's devotion, disguised himself as a humble hunter. When a boar appeared, both fired at once. Neither would yield the claim of the kill. What began as argument became combat. Hand to hand, warrior against god in disguise. Exhausted and humbled, Arjuna finally recognized whom he fought. Shiva, pleased by his courage and unwavering spirit, revealed his true form and granted him the Pashupatastra, the ultimate weapon. Daksha's contempt for Shiva burned like poison. When the great yajna began, Shiva himself was deliberately insulted, humiliated before all the gods. Sati chose immolation rather than bear the shame. Shiva's grief turned to rage so pure, it tore reality itself. From a lock of his hair, Virabhadra was born, a being so terrifying that even the gods trembled and begged for mercy. The yajna was torn apart. Daksha's head fell, but then came mercy. Daksha was revived with the head of a goat. Destruction followed by grace. Always. Even the 10-headed king of Lanka learned this lesson. Ravana, in his arrogance, attempted to lift the mountain Kailash itself, to carry it away to Lanka. Shiva simply pressed down with his toe. The weight was absolute. Ravana was trapped beneath that mountain for centuries, his cries of pain transforming into the first composition of the Shiva Tandava Stotram, a hymn born from agony and devotion. When finally released, he emerged not with punishment, but with a sword, a boon from a god who destroys and gives in the same breath. Even death itself bowed to Shiva's will. The sage Markandeya was destined to die at 16. He spent his short life in complete devotion to Shiva, worshipping a lingam without pause. When Yama arrived to claim his soul, the boy clung to that stone form. Shiva emerged in fury at the intrusion upon his devotee. He struck death itself. Time halted. Markandeya was granted eternal youth, the message eternal. That true devotion can move even the God who governs the end of all things. From burning 3 cities in a single instant to stopping death with his own foot, these are not merely tales of violence. Each battle ends the same way. Destruction followed by mercy, fury followed by grace. That is the real nature of the destroyer. Not chaos, but the force that clears the way for something new to begin. From burning 3 cities to kicking death itself. Shiva. Battles teach us something modern storytellers forget. That power without mercy is tyranny, and mercy without power is powerlessness. The Destroyer contains both. How many of these stories did you already know? How many shocked you? How many will you carry forward? This is why we tell these stories. Not to escape into fantasy, but to understand something true about ourselves, about destruction and renewal, rage and grace, endings and beginnings. If you're hungry for more of these deep cinematic dives into Hindu mythology, if you want to explore the stories that built an entire civilization, hit that subscribe button, join thousands of people who come here to witness the sacred narratives that shaped history. Like this video, share it. Let these stories reach someone else who needs to hear them. And in the comments below, I want to know. What is your favorite battle of Shiva? What do you think it means? Start a conversation. Build this community with me. We are just beginning. Om Namah Shivaya.